primary arterial. Guess which one moves more cars? The lower one. Which one is at least twice as safe? The lower one. Which one sets the stage for the retail and social life of the street to go up 4 to 5 times? The lower one. Which one actually lowers blood pressure? Proven. The lower one. People respond to beauty. And so what we're saying is, when we go to a category of road, such as a primary arterial, which Grand is, then it's your choice of what it will look like, how it will behave, and how it will bring back the vitality, the life of your community. So Dunderave, a Marine Drive it's called, is a wonderful model, but so is this. This is a town that has no downtown. They have no university, by the way, even though they call themselves University Place, and they have no place. But they want one. So we worked with the community, and 1 year later, and I'm serious about this, 1 year later, this is the scene. And they became so beautiful that they attracted Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's says this is their top moneymaker in the Pacific Northwest. But it wouldn't have been, they wouldn't come, had they not rebuilt the road. And so you see the same road, here are the medians, very easy to cross the street today. The street is very green, beautiful vertical walls, and truly, many of your streets can have this dignity, this honor, and this greeting for people to come down to make investments in. The idea is not for speed. Once you get to a town, the idea is never about speed. It's about beauty. It's about what can we tie to it. Now, a lot of your streets, because you have buildings set way back, like out near what we call Motel Row, you need some starters. And those starters need to make good money. So I'm going to show you some liner buildings. Does everybody see the buildings out in front? But the buildings that are recessed? These buildings, which only need to be 20 feet deep, make more money per square foot than the buildings behind ever did. But now that they've got beauty and form and function on the street, more people will come to both buildings. And so you can pump in new life and new vitality to streets by starting with the edge and defining walkability, livability, civility. And truly, that's what it's all about. So we start wherever we are on whatever street or whatever the next opportunity is. Road diet's a very important term to understand here. A road diet is any time we transform a road and take out lanes and move traffic as well, if not better. And you have that opportunity. You certainly do on 4th, but I just want to share with you quickly that you already have road diets. Every time there's a blizzard, every motorist puts a median in the road. Every motorist. And they also put in the bike lanes. They want a buffer to the curb. So you've already been doing it. All we're saying is formalize it. And this street, which had to carry 20,000 cars, used to be 4 lanes, and it would stack up traffic miles long every evening. So we said, well, something would have to work better. So we took out 2 of the lanes, put in the 3rd lane so we could get the left turners out of the picture completely, put in the bike lane so there's more turning radius and easier to get in and out of driveways, and the traffic queues went away. And later we had to add 9,000 more cars to this when we were rebuilding another road, and we moved all 29,000 cars in 2 lanes. And you're only being asked to carry 16,000 on Grand. Do the math. To show you how the math works, a single lane going in one direction will move 1,800 vehicles in 1 hour if you don't interrupt it, or 18,000 cars in 10 hours. It's the only amount of time we count in a day. So a 2-lane road will move theoretically 36,000, or a 4-lane road, what you have theoretically can move 72,000. And that's why if you put in the right tools to go along with it, and when I say tools, you have to rebuild the intersections to be more efficient. Right now, you're not getting the best efficiency out of your intersections. Now you can do this almost anywhere, but here at the University of Toronto, they're moving 18,000 cars better in fewer lanes. And one reason they're moving more cars in fewer lanes, you don't have to have as long of signal cycles for people to get across the street, the side street, so you can have more green time. This isn't rocket science, it's just pure math, and it's fairly simple math, the kind of math I can understand. This road carries 23,000 cars. It used to be 5 lanes. We worked with the community. They collaborated. They learned the vocabulary, and now they're down to 2 lanes, much more parking. A huge boost to the retail sales of the street. In fact, they boosted over 30%, and now more buildings coming to the street, and they now are celebrated throughout the nation. 23,000 cars, but it took the collaboration of the neighbors working together before we could pull that off. I think it's important to point out that as we rebuild streets, we're rebuilding so we get more buildings, more social life, more investment and involvement in the street. This Long's drugstore, for example, when I talked to the manager after the roundabouts went in, he basically said, Dan, I would not have come here if the traffic had been going by too fast. I needed slow traffic. And that's what opens up the success of a business, as well as bringing back people. The number of people walking went up at least tenfold, bicycling at least tenfold, and retail sales, again, much higher, and everybody's pretty proud of what they've pulled off by collaborating and working together. So I want to cover a few more topics while I have a little bit of time. Every scene I'm showing you tonight is a rebuilt scene. This is something I could not have photographed 20 years ago. Bethesda Row in Bethesda, Maryland, used to be a 5-lane road. In Cleveland, Ohio, this was really dragging down the neighborhood. Now, because I haven't built it yet, I have to jump over to the other coast, to Monterey, to show you the same curb line by creating this little pocket park. From early in the morning, people are now using the stores. They're coming down to this corner. Typically from 6 in the morning, there's a good bakery there. And here's the cool deal. Within a year or so after they put in this little parkette, we call it, the value of all homes within walking range, about a 10-minute walk, went up about $40,000. Just that quick. And so everywhere we're figuring out how to bring back the social life, the access to food, all the things we talk about with the Blue Zones, we're talking about bringing back prosperity. And we do this with any of a number of topics, but one of those we identified here working with you is the importance of gateways. To give people an announcement that you've now come to a real place, a place of the heart, a place of character. And as custodians of the past, bringing your buildings forward and doing the many things, one day more of your streets will look like these scenes that we show here. This is a remade street. It used to be 5 lanes, and now it's one of the most celebrated streets in all of Portland, Oregon. It's actually called